Good morning. Welcome to Lesson 1, Part 14. So, before we get started, I want to remind you to have the latest PDF, the latest version of the text we're going to work from, which is simply entitled First Quarter Lesson Texts. If you don't have that, then if you're on the YouTube page, look for the link just below the video and follow it, and you'll be able to download the latest PDF. Now, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, do yourself a favor. Go back to Lesson 1, Part 1. This is not a time to be an arrogant dog. This is a time to be humble and follow instructions. Now I'm going to assume that everyone who's continuing to watch this video has been with me for at least, who's watched the previous 13 videos. So we've already covered the information on page 1, 2, 3, and now we're on page 4. We've already explored Lamrim's intellectual path to Buddhist spiritual mastery. We've explored wisdom training. We've explored the many lessons for contrived concentration, including contemplative notation, assumptive questions, rhetorical questions, and mantra-empowered questions. We've moved on to spontaneous concentration, and now we're at the point where we've already explored what the six-syllable mantra is and its benefits, and now it's time to receive a Tantric empowerment. Now, I want to be straight with you. According to many teachers in Tibet, both the Chenrezig practices and the Green Tara practices are what you might call an open Tantra that require no empowerment. However, I've found that everyone benefits from an empowerment. Now, Tantric empowerment sounds very sexy, but I assure you it's not. It's not. This has nothing to do with sexual tantra, although this would improve your experience of sexual tantra. This has everything to do with simply practicing the teachings in the most effective manner. So here is an idea I wish you to play with. What if men and women of spiritual enthusiasm have been practicing the six-syllable mantra of Chenrezig, the Buddha of Compassion, on Earth for 26 centuries? And what if the mantra was even older than Earth and went back to different planetary systems, different world systems? Once again, these are not things to believe rigidly, but just fun ideas that can be empowering to explore. Wouldn't it be neat if there was an unbroken succession of teacher to student and teacher to student and teacher to student that was much, much more than mere information? What if the student did not pass on the mantra until he had accomplished the mantra, until he recited it many hundreds and thousands of times, until he had combined it with the Lamrim in the Chagchen teachings, until he had combined it with Buddha's teachings of devotion, awareness, love, and letting go in a manner that was profoundly transformative. And then only after he'd been transformed by the mantra and the teachings to the point where he was a 9th or 10th level bodhisattva. Remembering a 10th level or a 10th Brahmin bodhisattva is a Buddha. Then he'd pass it on. How much more empowered would that be? Additionally, what if at the time of teaching the mantra, the teacher actually bestowed blessings upon the mind and energy and body of the student? How cool would that be to accelerate the student's psychic or spiritual momentum? That is exactly what you're going to receive right now. I've had the very good fortune to receive teachings from every sect of Buddhism, from the Theravada, from the Mahayana, and from the Vajrayana. I've had the very good fortune to receive blessings and trainings directly and indirectly from the Nyingma, the Sakya, the Kagyu, and the Gelug. Very, very good fortune. And what I've found is that there's more than one way to give a tantric empowerment. So if this is not your first time at the dance, then you must make special effort to give your preconceptions the day off. Think for a moment about the Christian scriptures, the New Testament. The Pharisees were the spiritual scholars of their day. They prayed for a Messiah fervently, and when Jesus Christ appeared on the scene, they rejected him immediately, enthusiastically. Why? Was it a lack of faith? No. It was because who he was and what he did and what he said was in complete opposition to their preconceptions. Now, was their failure that they had preconceptions? No. Their failure was they would not reconsider their preconceptions. And for the last 2,000 years approximately, they've been a byword of spiritual failure. I don't want to be a spiritual failure, and if you're taking time to watch this video, I'm fairly certain that you don't want to be a spiritual failure as well. One of the keys to that is, on one hand, to be aware of your preconceptions. And the easiest way to do that is when you listen to something and it bothers you, that's typically when a preconception jumps up, like one of the components in a whack-a-mole game at Chuck E. Cheese. And it's okay to be aware of that preconception and to be aware of the anger or the fear or the reluctance you may feel. It's okay to be aware of the idea. It's okay to be aware of the emotion. But remember also that we're not always as correct as we feel we are. If we were, then we wouldn't need instant replay on Sunday morning football. But we do. And we wouldn't need photo finishes at a horse track. But we do. Because you and me and everybody else are flawed. We can be fooled by our senses. We can be fooled by our memory. We can be fooled by our intellect. And our darker emotions can often masquerade as intuition. That's why Buddha taught that neither reputation or appearance or intuition or logic or valid indicators of which teaching is to be relied on. What then? What is a valid indicator? The results we get when we apply the teaching. But couldn't that take a long time? No. If you receive teachings and you apply them twice a day, every day, within 6 days, you'll gather enough results to be able to know if it's working or not. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So now, before we get into the tantric empowerment, I want to warn you, not everybody is good at visualizing. Some people visualize like the way Michelangelo handled a paintbrush. Other people, me included, tend to visualize the way a drunk monkey handles a crayon. No, folks, it ain't pretty. So, I am wording this empowerment to sidestep your conscious mind and to talk directly to your viscera, to your subconscious mind, to your other than conscious mind. And I'm not going to ask you to believe, but I ask you to entertain the possibility that regardless of your conscious ability to visualize, your inner mind could really get it. So let's play with that right now. So I want you to sit. If you're sitting in a chair, that's fine. If you're working, obviously don't watch this. Wait till you're at home tonight, and you have some privacy and some quiet. I want you to have your feet flat on the floor. I want your tushy scooted to the edge of the seat. Don't want you leaning back like this. That's unacceptable. Okay, I want your head over your shoulders over your pelvis, so that your vertebrae, rather than your muscles, are supporting your body weight. That's not me being a sanctimonious asshole. That's me setting you up for success. Sitting with good posture helps to align your subtle energy channels to give you the most positive, the most pleasurable, the most transformative experience possible. I invite you to imagine what it could feel like if a forearm's length above my head there now appeared the Buddha of compassion. He's the size of a grape, comprised of white light, smiling and having 4 arms, 2 in prayer position and 2 on the side. His outer right arm holding a mala, or a Buddhist rosary, and representing love, and his hand on his outer left hand holding a lotus representing the wisdom of letting go. His 2 hands in the middle represent devotion or gratitude to his teacher and his that teacher's teachings or instructions. I invite you to imagine what it could feel like if you now saw the grape-sized Lama, Chenrezig, the Buddha of compassion, enter through the crown of my head, descend my central channel, passing through the psychic center at my throat. The psychic centers are also known as chakras or wheels, and in this metaphysical tradition, we pretend that the throat center is horizontal. It descends further down my central channel, passing through the horizontal chakra at my heart. Passes further down my central channel, passing through the horizontal psychic center behind my navel, and coming to rest in the center of the horizontal wheel or chakra, 4 finger widths below my navel. That's called the secret place. Now, it's not secret because it's mysterious. It's secret because there's no external markings on your belly below your navel. Now, as I've told you in a previous lesson, you don't have to know intellectually where that is. Your body already knows. Your inner mind, your subconscious mind, already knows. And so I want you to imagine that the Buddha of compassion is sitting with his secret place in alignment with my secret place. And that from that secret place, green light rays emanate, leaving in all directions. And some of those green rays enter your secret place, 4 finger widths below your navel. They bless your body, speech, and mind, and create the causes for you to experience even more supernatural bliss. As now I intone, not you, just drink in the blessings, but now I intone. Om Mani Padme Hum. May the secret place of every living being be blessed with the green blessing rays of the Buddha of compassion that prepare them and enable them to experience transformative bliss to an even greater and more beneficial degree. I now invite you to imagine what it could feel like if you observed the Buddha of compassion, comprised of light in his grape-sized aspect, now climb my central channel up to the level of my navel wheel, located about a thumb's width before my spine at the level of my navel. And you can see him sitting in the hub of my navel wheel, my navel chakra. It's horizontal, and it's in perfect alignment with his navel wheel. And I invite you to imagine what it could feel like if an infinite number of yellow blessing rays left through Chenrezig's, the Buddha of compassion's navel, left through my navel, and that some of those blessing rays entered the psychic center behind your navel, creating the causes for you to experience even greater bliss, even greater peace and meditative tranquility. Drinking the blessings as now I intone. Om Mani Padme Hum. May every living being receive the yellow navel blessings, which increase their experience of contemplative peace. And I want to remind you that even though this chakra system may be different than the one you're used to, that's okay. There are many, many, many chakra systems. It's not our job to figure out which one is best. Simply play with the one in the moment that is more useful, that it seems the most useful. In future lessons, I'll teach you many, many techniques, and I'll teach you how to know which technique to use in any given moment. But for now, I invite you to continue with this exploration. I invite you to imagine what it could feel like if you observed the Buddha of compassion in his four-armed, grape-sized aspect of light climb further up my central channel. I'll come to rest in the center of my heart, in the hub of my heart wheel. Now these central channels, just like it seems, the central channel is neither in the left nor the right, nor the front nor the back. It's about a thumb's width before the spine. And the Buddha, we can imagine what it could feel like if the Buddha of compassion's heart was even with the chakra or wheel of light at my heart. And we can imagine what it would feel like if blue blessing rays left from Chenrezig's heart, left from my heart, pervaded all beings in all directions, and if some of those blue blessing rays entered your heart wheel, and so created the momentum necessary to increase your comprehension and your experience and your realization of the wisdom of letting go. drink in the blessings, as now I intone. Om Mani Padme Hum. May the heart of every living being be lavished with blue blessing rays that further awaken the realization of Buddha's wisdom of letting go. I invite you to imagine what it could feel like if now you observed the Buddha of compassion in his four-armed, grape-sized aspect of white blessing light climb further up my central channel and come to rest at my throat, so that his throat was in perfect alignment with the hub of my throat chakra, my horizontal throat wheel. I invite you to imagine what it could feel like if red blessing rays left through his throat, left through my throat, pervaded all beings in all directions, including you, and further blessed your ability to communicate to yourself and to others, silently and verbally, as well as your own system of channels, winds, and drops. Drink in the blessings, as now I intone. Om Mani Padme Hum. May every living being in this universe and all universes receive red blessing rays that lavish their throat centers with that which increases their ability to skillfully communicate with themselves and with others, verbally and silently, as well as it blesses their channels, winds, and drops. I invite you to imagine what it could feel like if now you observed the Buddha of compassion in his four-armed, grape-sized aspect of bliss-inducing light at my throat climb up my central channel and park it at my crown wheel, so that his crown wheel was flush with the hub of my crown wheel, the white psychic center, the white horizontal disc of light at my crown. Once again, you're not seeing this through physical eyes, you're imagining this, if not consciously, then subconsciously. You might not see it, but you might be able to feel the wheel spinning in your inner mind. And I invite you to imagine what it could feel like if from the psychic center at the crown of my head, from the psychic center at the crown of Chenrezig's head, white blessing rays emitted in all directions, pervaded the crown centers of all living beings, in this and every universe, so blessing their bodies, so they could better practice and accomplish the path in the most wonderful way. Receive the blessings, drink them on, as you passively listen to me in tone. Om Mani Padme Hum. May the crown wheel of every living being and every world of this and every universe receive white blessing lights that bless their bodies to be able to better practice the Buddha's teachings. I now invite you to imagine that from the 64,000 pores of the Buddha of compassion in my crown come rainbow lights, green, yellow, blue, red, and white, that leave through my 64,000 pores and enter the 64,000 pores of every living being on every world and every universe, further helping them to let go. Drink in the blessings as now I intone. May the skin of all living beings be blessed with the rainbow blessing rays, help them to further let go. I invite you to imagine what it could feel like if you observed more rainbow lights coming from the fingers and palms of the Buddha of Compassion's outer two hands at my crown, leaving through the fingers and palms of my two hands, pervading the fingers and palms of all living beings, including yours, further awakening everyone's potential as a healer of bodies, lives, hearts, and minds. I invite you to allow your hands, your palms, and your fingers to drink in these blessings as now I intone. May every living being, may the palms, hands, and fingers of every living being receive the rainbow ray blessings that further awaken their potential as healers of hearts, minds, bodies, and lives. Going to close this Tantric empowerment with a benediction, with a blessing. Imagine it's just you and me, and I'm giving you a Tibetan hug. And now what that means is we both stand up. We both tuck our chins. We gently, what would happen is I would gently place the center of my left palm upon your right shoulder. I would gently place the palm of my right hand behind the back of your head. I would gently move your forehead, your head in until our foreheads were gently touching. I use the word gentle because one does not wish to headbutt one's teacher. And I would give you these words of blessing. May you healthy, wealthy, and happy. May you practice skillfully and joyfully. May you accomplish Chenrezig, the Buddha of compassion, in this life. So may you realize devotion, awareness, love, and letting go, and practice them with such mastery that you're able to do so spontaneously, habitually, easily, and effectively. And then help many others do likewise. For truly that is the meaning of life. Om Mani Padme Hum. You may open your eyes. You may adjust your body for greater comfort. You've received a lot of beneficial energy. It's imperative that you drink as much water as you can right now, at least 8 ounces of water. As much as you can, just guzzle that down. There are many teachers of many sects. Most of them are fundamentalists. I began my journey as a fundamentalist, but now I'm a Buddhist liberal. So there are many fundamentalist Buddhists who would say that it's wrong for me to give a Tantric empowerment, even for Chenrezig, remotely over YouTube. But I'm not here to win a popularity contest. I'm here to help as many people as possible. And while it's even better, much, much better to receive my blessings either in person, at a retreat, or during a weekly live webinar in real time, this is much better than nothing. Only a perfectionistic fool will squander his life waiting for the best time to do the best thing. Men and women of action do what they can when they can, because they're not trying to be perfect. They're just trying to accomplish the path as quickly as possible so they could get on with life, so they could get on with being the happy campers that they were born to be. If that interests you, I invite you to continue tuning in to my videos on YouTube. And if you're really enthusiastic, let's see if I'm doing this right. I gotta get this all organized here. Click the like button, and then click the 3 social network buttons. Share this with your friends. Below this video on the YouTube page, you'll find a link. You can use that to register for the next series of weekly webinars. That series begins Thursday, the 6th of September. I'll see you there. May you and yours be healthy and happy. Om Mani Padme Hum.